We not about to do. I don't got time for seeing something that I don't need to be seeing. Like, don't freak me out while I'm trying to explain a movie that's freaking me out. Can we just float here for a while? Hi, Kelsey's my name. The other day, spoiler of the night, is called Fallen. It's with Denzel Washington in there. I think this is gonna be a very quick video because I don't think I'm gonna be like spoiling a lot. I'm just gonna get right down to the nitty gritty. So if you haven't seen this movie, it's a 1998 movie. The year your girl was born, you feel me? Anyway, I'm gonna try to look right here because I always when I'm trying to think about something, I look up, I go this way, I go that way, and it's like, what the fuck is she looking at? But yeah, random thoughts. So my random thought is me just I had to think. I'm like, dang, when is the first time I seen a Denzel Washington movie? When the first time I was like, oh, you know, just being introduced to his movies and just learning like, oh damn, this is a good actor. And I was a kid when I watched. I think I had watched this with my dad. I'm pretty sure. It was what was the movie called? It was called John Q, where his son is sick. He needs a new heart. I think it's a new heart, and he basically hold the hospital hostage until his son get a new heart and everything like that. So that was the first time I think I was introduced to watching one of his films for the first time, I think. But yeah, so I guess we could just go ahead and get into this movie, Falling, and what it's about and this and that, yada yada yada. So the character name, because I'm not gonna say Denzel Washington because I keep looking over. I'm not gonna say Denzel Washington because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be reviewing a lot more of his movies, and I'd rather just say the character name. So even though I want to say Denzel Washington, I'm going to say John. No, not John Q. Lord, that's the whole different movie. I'm going to say, well, the name of the character in this one is John. So John is a cop, and basically, it's this guy that has to get executed. I guess he murdered some people, and yeah, they watch him get executed and stuff like that because this man was a bit crazy and just jolly and just all over the place. But yeah, I guess he meets he meets the inmate or whatever. He meets the inmate, shake his hand, and of course the shaking hand was a little awkward, like let go of my hand. But I guess he was very fascinated with the cop. So let's fast forward. It's a lot of things going on. You're seeing people, and it's like it's panned to one character to a different character to another character, and you notice how each character is bumping into each other, touching each other, and then it just is on that one character. And my thing is, I'm like, I'm still trying to figure. I felt like I had watched this movie before, but then at the same time, I don't remember that happening. I don't remember like specifically it being about a spirit. I didn't look from what I was thinking of as like, oh, it's a bad cop, the bad guy, whatever. When it wasn't really that. It was just a character being bad at the moment because the spirit was in them. So he it takes him a minute to find out what's going on, but for some reason he ends up like finding out about a cop, um or I forgot how he ended up finding out about a certain cop back in the day. But he kind of just do his research and find out that the cop committed suicide or whatever. killed himself in the cabin or whatever. So um there's the one who committed suicide back in the day. He goes to, see the person in connection, which is his daughter. But before then, he do ask questions like his higher up, his boss. His boss ain't giving him no intake or no intel or whatever. But yeah, he goes to the daughter, the grown adult daughter or whatever, and he asks a couple of questions. She not really giving him no real answers. She basically like leave it alone or whatever. Ooh, girl, she almost got hit in her head with this doggone thing. Like leave it alone or whatever. But it's just strange things happening, and after that dude, after the murderer get executed, which I noticed that they didn't have nothing over his head. Like, is it usually like that? I could have sworn like you're supposed to have something over your head, or was it always was it always did it used to be like where they didn't have nothing on over the person that's getting executed head, or am I just imagining shit? But yeah, she not giving him no intake or whatever. But throughout after that, a few days later, is some more murders. Oh Lord, what am I saying? Some more people getting killed, but it's like it's not the way you think. It's the fact that it's this bad guy or this something is taking over their body, and they go and do some crazy shit. And then once they do go do crazy shit, they either leave the body to the next go to the next body, or they like once they go to the next body they end up killing the person that the body that they was in or something like that. And on top of that, it's like something this spirit just was so wanted John's body for some reason. But John not sure what's going on yet, because it's like, okay, it's murders happening, and it's like they already solved the case, but it's still at the same, they already like dealt with the person that's getting executed, but it's like the same shit is happening again, but that man is dead. You feel me? So um but yeah, so also John has a brother and a nephew that lives with him. um but yeah, like it's strange things happening. The spirit that's in each body is like we're basically just doing what he want or doing what it wants, and just getting closer to John. And then like it's this one thing that happened, where once the person tapped the other person, the spirit is in them or whatever, and then like somehow it ends up getting to the police station, and they start singing this song, and John looking like, each cop is singing this song, and he like, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie, that was very creepy. The same song that was being sung by the person that was executed in the beginning of the movie, he like, and he can't help it but like to like, hey, you, why you singing that song for? And that person was like, one of the cops or each of the cops was like, what you talking about? I wasn't singing. Oh, that was crazy. That's the part where he just like figuring out like some creepy shit is going on. Something is going on. So he ends up going outside of the police station just to see like, oh, as one per that the spirit tapped on touching the other person, and it gets into the other person, and then he's like speaking through them, and he's like in disbelief. So he goes back to the daughter of the ex cop that killed himself, and she basically explained what's going on, yada yada yada. And somehow the spirit end up seeing them together, I think, one of them times, and they follow her. She noticed it in a rear view or whatever, and she's like trying to speed walk. And then next thing you know, stops her in her tracks, and she's like, not trying to get touched. She not trying to get the spirit inside her body. So she found a way, and she ends up running away. The spirit or the that's in the whatever body is chasing her down or whatever. There's just a lot going on with that. It ends up getting a real crazy when like the spirit end up being in the his nephew. Now I'm not gonna lie, his brother. I don't know. I don't know if something wrong with his brother a little bit. I don't know. Something seemed a little off with him. I don't know. But yeah, so he noticed he ends up making it home. John ends up making it home, and like he ends up seeing his brother face like, hey, what happened to your face? Like, who did this to you? And the brother was like, um, basically his son, which is his nephew, like, oh, what you call him did this to me. And he looked over like, my nephew did this to you. Like the nephew is a boy, a little boy, and the brother is an adult, and he like, don't, hey, don't, it's okay. He ain't mean. He just got a little angry. I'm just like, oh, the spirit got in him. The spirit got in him. So, so he ends up going outside, and he like, trying to figure out like, boom, boom, and then which his nephew was playing with his friend. The nephew was playing with his friend, and he ended up noticing that the spirit is in the friend body, so he ended up chasing down the other little boy. So he ended up chasing him down, and then the other little boy ended up touching another human being or whatever, and it's in that the spirit is in that body. The spirit is trying to, I ain't gonna say the spirit trying to kill him, but he just, no, I heard that too, Twilight. I heard that too. I heard a noise. But yeah, so it's just a whole lot of going on, and it's like everything is falling on John. Like everything is being pointing towards John. It's been pointing towards John as if he's killing people, and then on top of that, like a spirit had got into one of the people body, and he ended up having to defend himself and end up having to kill the person. And the person was a teacher, and the spirit was in that body. Huh, a whole lot of. So a whole lot of. So yeah, so he ended up having to like lay low or just not, basically like just, yeah, he just was in a lot of trouble. Let's fast forward. You want to fast forward to like um it was, I'm not gonna lie, this was so sad. I'm just like, damn, bro. Next morning or whatever, he's like, the nephew, he's at home, and the nephew was like, I was about to say, the nephew was like, hey, boom boom, or something about him being tucked in into bed or whatever. And so John ended up noticing like something was strange going on, and he checks his nephew. He has uh, a letter on his chest, and he was like, "Where's your dad?" He's like, "He's still in there asleep." I knew instantly something was wrong. Something was terribly wrong. So, am I tripping? I'm getting a little scared. I'm getting freaked out. Hold on. Eh. Anyway, I had to close the door. Like the door is cracked and it's like dark, and I thought I seen a light, and I'm just like, what we not about to do? I don't got time for seeing something that I don't need to be seeing. Like, don't freak me out while I'm trying to explain a movie that's freaking me out. Anywho, so he ends up going to the room and seeing that his brother, oh, wait, brother, anyway, seeing that his brother is laying down asleep, And he goes over and he noticed that his brother is not waking up. And he has like a little insulin shot or some type of shot, a little thing, a syringe next to him. So I'm not gonna lie, throughout the movie they had like when different people was different folks or different, anyway, was being killed or whatever, they had like an insulin shot next to him or something like that. I think it was like that. One of them had an insulin. I keep saying insulin, a syringe, um, next to him. So it's just like, damn, the spirit that killed this man, bruh. Then they killed this brother. Now he crying and stuff like that. And now on top of that, the cops is coming to bring him in for other things that they wouldn't understand, because it's like it would sound crazy. The only person that would understand is the ex cop daughter that knows about this stuff. So he hurries and he gets his nephew dressed, gets some clothes for him, and them, and he asks like, hey, what about dad? And I'm just like, oh my god, no. So they on a run. And as they on a run, it's like this female, which the spirit is in the female body, and she's looking at them smiling and stuff like that. That just be creepy as fuck. And on top of that, it's another character that's throughout this movie as well that I didn't really mention. I think he was on that's his partner though. But his partner pretty cool. He was on like a main character on a show. I think it was called Roseanne. I think he was on Roseanne. I think that is him. Anyway, so yeah, so he was like, he ends up going to the girl house, the ex cop daughter. Anyway, the girl house, and he's like, I'm gonna need you to take care of him or whatever. Basically, she understood the assignment, and he has this talk with his nephew. He was like, hey, you're gonna be here for a very long time, and he did already explain while they was on a run that his dad is not here, like his dad has died. But yeah, so like he explained it to him while his nephew was laying on the couch, like, hey, you're gonna be here for a long time, and just remember that I think I always love you. I always something like that. And the nephew was like, basically, this is not real. When I wake up in the morning, everything is gonna go back to the way it was. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sad. So he goes to he leaves there, he goes to the cabin, and he's setting up or whatever. And next thing you know, somebody pull up, which is his partner. No, it wasn't his partner. It was his boss that pulled up. And he's like, okay, the spirit is in him. And then next thing you know, his partner pull up. He's like, dang, which one is this? Which spirit? Which one? Which spirit? Which body is the spirit in? Type shit. Because nobody knows where he's supposed to be at. You feel me? So they having this talk, and the boss is like, just turn yourself in, this and that and the third. And then next thing he's still trying to figure out which spirit has taken over the body, who body or whatever, which body or whatever. So, yeah. So the trying to think, the partner ends up shooting the boss in the head, and it was instantly like, damn, the spirit is in that body. So prior, maybe like a few days prior or whatever, or I say a few days prior, John did visit the cabin to see, what happened there, trying to figure out what was going on. And it was this, I seen an animal. I'm like, okay, huh. Just, wandering around like a little pet, like a cat wandering around or whatever. Anywho, so back to like the point where his partner shoots his boss in the head. It was like, I'm not gonna let you go get away. I'm not gonna let you go. You're going to die, basically. So he starts sitting down. I think he did shoot his partner in the leg, or the spirit in the leg. I'm just calling it the spirit because that's who's over the body. Um but yeah, so so he sits down, smokes. He was like, it's just you and me out here, boom, boom, like you not getting nowhere. And he have to die very slowly, and then he ain't got no other choice but to take over his body. So as he's smoking, he was like, you're not gonna get nowhere. So he's smoking these cigarettes that's poisoned. And it's the same stuff that the spirit killed the brother with. And yeah, that was that on that. Basically, he basically killed himself. But the spirit ended up getting into John's body. Even though he got into his body, he's poisoned. He's trying to find a way to survive. The spirit trying to find a way to survive. And he the spirit is dead. The spirit is dead. And so I thought the spirit was not dead because a cat came and walked around, and the damn spirit was able to touch the cat, and then the spirit was in the cat. So it's like it was no point at all. Like he didn't finish the job. He didn't. This fucking spirit survived. So yeah, like I'm like, damn, bro. I was hoping for a real good ending. I was hoping for the ending of him winning, like, but the spirit ended up winning. And then like in the beginning of the movie where John was like stumbling around about to fall, that was just kind of showing like the ending of like, damn, what happened to him. But it wasn't really him. It was the spirit in him. And he was like, damn, like he almost died, but it wasn't John talking. It was the spirit. And I'm like, damn, the spirit got out. John dead. Everybody just about to die. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Um, my favorite character of the movie, of course, John Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington. He's a good ass actor. Like, you can't go wrong with that. So, John is my favorite character. My least favorite character, I'm gonna say the spirit, the bad guy. The bad guy. Like, nobody wasn't really doing nothing to where it was like, girl or dude, like, get a grip type shit. But my favorite part. My favorite part of the movie. I don't think I have a favorite part. I don't have a favorite part. The movie overall was pretty good. It was pretty good. I give it a 9 out of 10. But yeah, like just about all Denzel Washington movies is pretty fucking good. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep rumbling and rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and peace.